So Boolean search actually predates computers and was originally created by George Boole in the 1800s. The reason I mention this is because he's from Lincolnshire, where I'm from. The only other notable people from there being Margaret Thatcher and Sir Isaac Newton. So we're not plentiful in our famous people, but they're very notable when they do come out. Hopefully maybe I'll be one of those two. The original methodology was, as I mentioned, predating computers, and again it was used for refining information. Now most people will start to understand the logic of a Boolean search string relatively quickly, but how you use the specific operators to accurately refine a search takes a little bit more practice. Now the key operators that we're going to begin with to refine a search are and, or, and not. Let me talk you through how you would take the keywords that you're using to find a candidate, use those search operators to refine what it is that you're looking for. First of all, let's look at the and operator. This is inclusionary and thus limits your search. If you take two keywords in a search on Bullhorn or any of the other areas or any other systems we talked about using to refine your search, and you use two of the keywords that you need to find on a resume, you put Java and C#. What that will do is search the database of all the candidates that we have and refine it by candidates who only have on their resume the words Java and the word C#. So it has to include both words and filters out every other resume that doesn't have both of those words. So this is a key area to begin most of your searches. You will look at what requirements we have for a candidate, and you'll use one word and another, and possibly another, and it will eliminate everybody who doesn't have those words on their CV, but only show you the CVs and resumes that have all the words that you've used the operator and to find. Next, look at the or operator. This enables flexible inclusion. So if you're looking for one skill set or another, then you use this to flex your search, and it will probably expand the number of results you get. So if you've narrowed a search down too far, or there are multiple ways of describing something, you use the or operator. So you could have engineer or developer, as you're not too sure whether people would describe themselves as one or the other, so you include both terms. If you had engineer and developer, the search would bring you back CVs that had only both of those terms on them, engineer and developer. If you used engineer or developer, the search would bring you back every CV or resume that had the word engineer on, or every resume that had the word developer on, so you get a wider search. So, and restricts your search and refines it, and or expands your search. So the final of the first three key operators is the not operator, and this is exclusionary. So if there are specific terms you want to ensure aren't on resumes that are coming back in your search, you use the not operator. For instance, if you're looking for candidates in London but not Cambridge, then you would include not Cambridge in the search string, and it would exclude any candidates that had the word Cambridge on their CV. You could do the same thing with other different skill sets. So if you wanted C# not Java, then you would get all candidates' resumes delivered to you in the search that had C# on them. But if the CVs had C# and Java, they would be removed from the search because you specified not Java. This one you have to use carefully, because if there's a possibility that it could be a good resume and have the other word on it, and you've used the not exclusionary operator, it will remove those possible good candidates from your search. So you have to use this only if you definitely don't want that term on the resume or the CV at all, and again it will narrow down your search. So now if you've understood the basic principles of and, or, and not, we can look at some slightly more complex elements of Boolean and how we put things together in a string. So you can, once you've created a Boolean search string, the search engine will go and deliver you back all elements of the string that you've put together, and then you can refine the results further from there. So some other key things you need to look at. First, we're going to look at an asterisk. Now, there's lots of different words or ways of describing various different things, and sometimes things are written in plural or singular, or a variety of different ends to words that have the same prefix. So you could also, for instance, have developer, and you could have develops, developed, developer, development, etc. In order in one search to encapsulate all of those words without writing them out multiple times, you would use the prefix of the word that's common to all of them, i.e. develop, and then you would put an asterisk. What that does is that it will go and search all the resumes for the word develop regardless of what comes after the asterisk. Once you start to understand how candidates will describe themselves in different ways, or how clients will describe different job titles, this becomes quite useful, and it particularly eliminates any potential for plurals. So you can use this to finish any word, and it enables the search engine to go and search for the prefix of the word regardless of whatever the end is. Next, we're going to look at parentheses, or as they're more commonly known, brackets. As a best practice, we use parentheses to encapsulate OR statements for the search engines to execute the OR statements properly. Remember, the OR operator is interpreted as I would like at least one of these terms. You can think of parentheses as a way of telling the search engine you were looking for one of these. For example, if you were looking for Java and Apache, WebSphere, or WebLogic, you would write Java and, open the brackets, and then put Apache, WebSphere, or WebLogic and close brackets. The search engine will then go and find the resumes and CVs that have the word Java on, and they will also present you CVs that have any of the words Apache, WebLogic, or WebSphere. They could have only one of those words or more than one, but they will definitely have one. So the brackets encapsulate the OR statement and make sure that the search engine knows which of the words in your search string are the OR search terms. Next, we're going to look at quotation marks. Quotation marks encapsulate a phrase. So if you were looking for the job title business analyst, you would put that in quotation marks. Otherwise, the search engine is going to look for the word business and the word analyst and present you back all CVs and resumes with the word business and the word analyst on them. If you encapsulate the phrase within speech marks or quotation marks, it will search just for that specific phrase. Now, you could use also the speech marks with an asterisk. So again, using the example of business analyst, you could put the asterisk at the end of the word analyst, and then it will go and search for the phrase business analyst, business analysts, business analytical, anything that has the end that varies with the prefix of the word analyst.